All right. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Here in Atlanta, it is quite morning. We have already reached that point that there's not a whole lot of light outside anymore. It looks like there's a lot of light, but that's just because cameras do what they do. We were trying to do the math the other day, and somehow my roommate and I are both entirely incapable of figuring out if it's going to be brighter in the mornings or in the evenings after daylight savings. I've never struggled with it before. I blame Corona. I feel like COVID-19 has ruined everything, even our ability to think out very obvious problems. So Sandy will be joining us this morning. She is just running a little bit behind, so it is just me doing my thing for now. If you were with us yesterday afternoon when I was going over my gigantic to-do list of things I need to get done before I could start Nano, I did finish my outline last night. So I am currently on track. I did add 2 more things to that list, but they're both small things. So I've got 5 big things, one of which is already done, and 5 small things to do. One of the big things is absolutely going to take like 4 days. So I'm saving that to the end, not because I like to save the worst thing to last. I'm actually the opposite person, and I prefer to get the worst thing done first. Unfortunately, it is an edit on my current, like the story that I just finished 2 days ago. So I really need to let that sit for a few days. Piece of advice for everybody who is writing and editing at the same time, not at the same time, but like you're going from writing to editing. Don't go directly from like finishing the last word of the novel to going back to the beginning to edit it. You're not going to see all of your mistakes. You always should let it sit. It's bad that I'm only going to be letting it sit for a few days. I've done this a bunch though. We will be starting our first stream in a couple of minutes, or our first sprint. Yay, words. We'll start our first sprint in the next couple of minutes. Don't worry, I'm not going to go on some crazy ramble. We're going at a 5 after because I like following schedules. There's Sandy. So this morning, I started updating some files for my my ebooks. That's something that you got to kind of do regularly anyways. And also Amazon just changed their system and they're allowing you to put ratings, not reviews. You can do just like a rating without a review now. So I'm begging people to leave ratings for me. Sandy, how are you this morning?
I'm awake. I was not awake like 30 minutes ago. So
awake is a good first step.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good this morning. I think I got like deep sleep last night. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is a very good thing. How are you?
I'm on my second cup of coffee and I submitted the updates for Clara. So I just have to do the updates on the covers and that little back of the book thing for Eloise and Hazel. I probably need to review Hazel again at some point, or edit Hazel again at some point, just to do a little extra proofread because I feel like it's about that time. But obviously it's not happening now. But yeah, so I just got to do those 2 and I'll have all of that stuff done. And I got that outline finished yesterday. So I've got 3 outlines to go.
Nice. When do I get to read Verity?
I mean, it's trash right now. Like this is not one of my better rough drafts. So we'll see what happens when I edit it at the end of this month. If you're thinking it already is the end of the month, that's okay. Ignore that. We'll see how this edit goes and go from there.
Okay.
Welcome pronoun. And it is that time. So we are just going to start off with a real easy 10-minute sprint. It is still morning for me. I'm doing my best here. So we're going to go for 10 minutes. We'll see you guys at 1:15.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. We just came back. We are back. Hey CV, thanks for joining us. I know. What are you working on today, Sandy?
So today I'm doing proofreading on the fantasy novel because I'm too tired yet to do like serious revision work.
That's fair. It's still important work.
It has to get done today.
By the way, we are running until 10 a.m. Eastern today instead of the 9:30 that we usually do. We'll have an extra sprint today, assuming Sandy is game for that. It was Sandy's idea that we should run
game.
longer, so
Let's
I should
do it.
Game.
I'll be like so awake by then. It'll be great.
Excellent. I got a bit of a character outline done, just like getting this character's background because her background is important in this one. Also, I realized that I'm missing a critical information for one of my other main characters. So I'm going to put this to you, Sandy, and the audience. These characters are all together because they are women who were convicted of murder. One of them was falsely accused of murdering her husband, or falsely convicted, I guess. And then there's one who killed the man who murdered her sister instead of doing like law, doing things the right way. There is a prostitute who killed a John in self-defense. And there's an actual assassin in the group. I've got one more though, and I don't know what she did. It's not super critical. She is a virgin. That is like really the only thing that might have any effect on what this could be. And I prefer for her to not be a villain in this. So if anybody has a suggestion on who Arden, the virgin, murdered, let me know. I already have like a wrongful conviction, so I can't go twice with that.
Arden is a great name. Is she going to get a book? She needs to get a book.
Yeah, she's the second book. She gets the hot doctor alien.
Okay. Okay. So let's run through the women again. So we've got so real fast. So how many women are there?
There are 5 of them total who are murderers. There is one is not, so she is not part of it. So Dexy killed for revenge her sister's killer.
Okay.
Lily was the prostitute who killed her pimp. Or her John, excuse me. Sulky is the one who was wrongfully convicted of killing her husband. And Rumor is a full-on assassin.
Wait, I thought you said there were 5. Did I miss one? I've got...
And then there's Arden, who we don't have.
Okay, so we've got the person who, like, avenged her sister, the prostitute who killed her John, the woman who is wrongfully accused of killing her husband.
Yep.
Sorry, who was the 4th? I was trying to write them down.
The assassin.
Did the 4 women, like, other than... So the prostitute definitely killed somebody. The number 1, Sister Vengeance, she definitely killed somebody. The woman who was wrongfully accused of killing her husband, did she actually kill him?
No.
Okay, so it wasn't like a self-defense thing.
No, okay. She was absolutely convicted of a crime she did not commit. She was Annie Dufresne.
And then Arden is the only one. Well, so Arden is one of 2 who didn't actually kill somebody, right?
That's fair, yes.
But she's still in prison.
She is the only one there that I don't have who was convicted of killing somebody.
But she was... No, wait, I'm sorry. That's confusing. So she was convicted of killing somebody, or she wasn't?
Yes, but she did kill that person also. She did do the crime and she was convicted of that crime. There is a 6th person who is not a murderer, and that's why it's a little weird for me to explain this in the right way. But there's a 6th person who's just not a convicted killer.
Okay, so Arden is a killer.
Arden is a convicted killer.
Okay, but she's... So we're just trying to figure out why she killed?
Yeah. Who it was that she killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't gone for like anything related to somebody's job yet. You could have her killing a boss, a coworker she's jealous of.
I would like her to not be a villain.
So you want the murder to
Like,
be accidental?
well, I mean, like the other ones, like killing a John, you're not really a villain. And killing a John who was trying to kill her. It was a John who was trying to murder her. That was the prostitute. And then one was a vengeance kill, getting vengeance for her sister. And then one was wrongfully accused. And then there is the one who is a villain character and will end up with a villain character.
So I think the only ways you can do this then to make it so that it's actually like, unless you want to do some like wimpy manslaughter thing, in which case she wouldn't have been convicted of murder, right? So like this isn't going to be a car accident because she won't have been convicted of murder. If it was a car accident. But she could have been convicted of murder if she was defending somebody else or if it was self-defense for herself. You could make it self-defense.
I could.
Or
I already have a self-defense, and that's not a problem. I just have to make sure that it's far enough away from that. So, the pronoun I has a great one there. A Kevorkian. Oh my God, that's even better because she is a med student, possibly a nursing student. I haven't decided how educated she is going to be. Thank you, pronoun I. That is perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Problem solved. That was some good problem solving for like 8:20 in the morning.
It's one of those things that like it doesn't matter. It just needs to be there. It'd be really weird for her to be like, yeah, I'm a murderer. Especially because I already have the one character who's there who is not a murderer. And it's kind of weird that she's there because of that. Right. Basically, this is a early release work program. I'm writing alien romance, just a forewarning on this. And alien romance is one of the like most common tropes with it is breeding programs. So basically they go into this program and they get an early release for it. So it's touted as like a help your planet program, but really the only one who does it, the only people who do it are prison inmates, because that sucks. Nobody wants to do that, but it gets you out of prison early. So there's also one character who is a volunteer, which, you know, gives her a weird backstory as well.
Okay. That's breeding program. It is.
Yeah. Alien romance is real weird, but I was like, you know what? I can embrace that trope. I don't, there is some of that. I don't like the abduction trope at all. And that's why it's all voluntary. Like none of them are forced to do this. They just choose to do it. Because I don't like abduction. I don't like that there are so many abduction tropes with happy endings, because I don't like that. I think that's a very Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
This is my button. You do you if you're down with it. Not you, Sandy, because I know you don't read this stuff, but people who are down with it, I don't judge them at all. I feel like probably the fact that I'm down with breeding programs is pretty freaking weird. So yeah.
I think it may not be mainstream, but there's clearly a lot of people reading it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's something we've learned this morning.
It's a weird world out there.
It's a very weird world. Yes,
yeah.
It is.
The good news is it's time for another sprint. We're going to go
do another sprint and stop talking about breeders. Yeah. Like a little early for that for me.
Right? Yeah, that was throwing a whole bunch at you. There's that point where I'm like, I don't need to explain this, but now I feel compelled to explain this. And here we are now, breeding programs. Okay, so we are going to go for the next 15 minutes. So that is going to take us to 20 of. Good luck, everybody. Right, we're back.
Yes. We're back.
Did you get a bit of work done there, Sandy?
Yes, I got through another scene, so that's great.
I got a little bit more notes filled out. I added the Kevorkian thing. Thank you. And I got a little bit, this one that I'm working on now. So like I had things for the first 3 books really well figured out in my head. And in the last 3, I don't. The very final one, like all of these take place on the same timeline, except for the final one. So basically the first 5 all take place between the time when they get on the ship and when they leave the ship. But the last one is from like halfway through to like their destination. So I'm not so worried about the last one because it's not, it's the timeline is so staggered that it doesn't matter so much. But this one and the next one I'm worried about because I don't really know too much what's going on, but I've already like figured out some stuff and like there are things that I haven't covered about the very beginning and the 4 that I've done so far, 3 that I've done so far. So yeah, this looks like it's going to work out better than I thought it was going to.
So you're feeling good about it.
Yes.
That is good. I'm excited about the alien romance. I think it's going to be like all kinds of fun.
It's going to be real weird.
I feel like we can safely say that with your romance, the weirder the better.
Fair. Like I just write weird.
Yeah. You write a little weird. It's kind of perfect for like what you're doing for the audience that you're trying to attract. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I submitted Clara to Book Sirens this morning. Did I tell you that?
No, but good. I hope that they accept it.
I'm going to try it again. Whatever. Until they tell me not to submit stuff to them, I'm going to keep submitting stuff to them.
Is this with the new cover-ish?
It is. It's a new cover and it's a new blurb. I did submit Hazel to them, which I feel hopefully it's obvious that they're in the same series. So that was just declined, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, who knows, right? It's nearing the holiday season, so this would be the time of year. I
feel like they've just changed their questions because there wasn't a question. Didn't they used to ask you who made your cover? Like not a specific name, but didn't they used to ask you if you made your cover, if you had a professional make your cover? That wasn't there anymore. But they did ask if your ebook was formatted by yourself or a professional ebook formatter, which I think is really weird because I feel like that's something that most people don't have a professional do unless they're actually like, I feel like most indie writers, like that is the last thing you're willing to pay for.
Well, it's a weird question, right? Because I think most indie writers use something like Vellum.
Exactly.
So they don't really do it themselves, but also they don't really have a professional do it.
No, I feel like they mean, did you use Vellum or did you outsource it?
Oh, they're not looking for people like us who are like, we coded this whole thing.
Right. I don't think that's what they were asking. I think that they were asking. Yeah, it just was. I think it was. Did you do it yourself or did you professionally get it done professionally?
Yeah.
It was a real weird question. But then I also, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember saying that it was the first of the series either.
Did they ask you that this time?
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember being asked that question, which of course, not remembering it makes me scared that I was asked it and I put the wrong answer on it because I always stress about stuff like that. But with the other stuff being different, that might have been different too. I guess the real easy way to find out is just to go to their site and see what questions there are. Anyway, for you guys at home, if you have no idea what we're talking about, Book Sirens is a site that basically connects your book to it's ARC readers, but they're mostly bloggers. So if you can get your book into these people's hands, you can get a bunch of reviews and, on blogs and stuff, you can get more coverage. Oh no, they do ask if it was the first book of the series. Ebook formatting, the book has been formatted by the author, this book has been formatted by a professional, or this book has not been formatted for e-readers. So yes, it is absolutely, did you use vellum or did you pay someone to do it? Which is a real weird question, because I don't, like, it is so rare that I come across a book that is like poorly formatted, like poorly to the point where I don't want to read it because the formatting is so bad.
Yeah, no, that is a very interesting question, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
And
I read almost exclusively on Kindle Unlimited. So absolutely what I'm reading is indie published stuff. So yeah.
A
question. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I will say, I've always thought that the cover question was really dumb, because they are looking at the cover.
Yeah.
Like, why are you asking me this when you can see what the cover is? Why do you care who made it when you can see it? Is it a good cover or is it not a good cover? Like, it doesn't matter at that point. I don't know. It was just weird. Also, they didn't ask me my publishing date on it. And I know that was something they asked, because they always, like, that was one of the things that they used to decide whether they were going to post your stuff or not.
Oh, that is also very weird.
Yeah.
I love Book Sirens. I think they're great.
I'll love them a lot better if they ever flipping accept my stuff.
Right. This is the thing that's hard is they, yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, admittedly, like, I've gotten good reviews from them and also bad reviews. And I think that's part of what I like about them is I feel like they do kind of, they treat themselves as much as they can as professionals.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means they're really, really looking, I think, for something that they know their readers will pick up. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to accept your book if it's going to sit there and you're not going to get the readers that you need. And I'm sure that's mostly for their readers, but I feel like it's also good for the writer. Like, you get a sense of like what some random person who, has no incentive to be nice or not to you thinks about whether your book is marketable.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, which is potentially depressing. Right.
But at the same time, so like, one of the big things for me, this, but again, because we do have people watching, one of my big problems right now is I'm sinking a whole lot of money into marketing. But because I don't have that many reviews, I'm basically wasting money right now. Like, I'm still going to do it because I have to do something. I have to get some traction behind it, but people don't like reading books that don't have a bunch of reviews on them, because it looks like some indie BS that somebody paid like their best friend to write a review for. So, where the hell was I going with that?
I'm not sure.
Oh no, sleepy time. I forgot where I was going with that. It'll come to me, I think. Oh no. Sandy, I've just completely lost it. What I was going to say to you. I'm like, I know exactly what we were talking about, but like that particular thing, you were talking about how Book Sirens is good and bad, because
I was saying that, like, for an author, it kind of gives you a sense of if somebody outside of your realm.
Oh, you said you made a comment about how it's a good way to figure out if your book is marketable or not, and it sucks if it's not. So where I was going with that is that, like, you need X amount of reviews before you can even figure out if your book is marketable, because until you have those reviews, that is what is keeping you from making sales. So like, I don't even know if these books are marketable because I've got so few reviews on them that no amount of marketing is going to work right now. Like, you need to get those reviews, and then you could figure out if you really do need to completely overhaul everything or ditch it, or like everything is great and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all kinds of reasons to watch out for stuff like that. Like, I curtailed my marketing budget like massively. Like, where you like ramped it up, I was like, pretty sure I need to take mine down. Not because I don't have reviews on some of my books, but on the YA, the reviews aren't good enough, and on the romance, even if I have good reviews and like enough of them, and I probably do, I don't have enough books in the series. And I don't
Yes.
think people pay attention to that either, right? Like, you assume that
No.
if you advertise, it'll be fine, but advertising your 2-book romance series when you have nothing else
Yep.
out there, I
And
don't think that's worth more
I've
than.
been through so many of these webinars and like spent so many times, so much time on 20 books to 50K, and nobody mentions these things. Every once in a while, like, you'll be in a webinar and somebody will say, well, I've got five reviews. What should I do? And you're already like 10 hours into this webinar series, and the person hosting it is like, oh yeah, if you've only got 5 reviews, then why the F are you even here? And then the same thing with the oh God, what you were just saying. Oh, with not having enough books in it. Like, in the series, hardly ever do you hear anybody mention, but like every once in a while it'll come up where somebody will be like, when did success start happening for you? And like 20 people will say, oh, well, it was when I finished that first series. And you won't hear that again for another year. And it turns out these things are essentials that just nobody talks about. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We ran a little bit long there, but that's okay. It is 8 of, and I can't do that math. Is that 7 after? I feel like that's 7 after that we'll be back at. So we will see you guys then.
Okay. Did I totally miss the timer?
All right, sorry about that. I don't know if I messed up and had us set on the wrong screen or if StreamYard messed up. I don't know. I don't know, but either way.
Yeah, it seems very possible that it is about the StreamYard. But
yes. And or like my internet connection being slightly unstable, like whatever it happens to be, here we are, we're back.
Oh, okay. That was good. I finished up a chapter. Today I need to do, what do I need to do today? What's my thing? I think I need to do 2 of these today. Yes, I just need to do 2, so that's good. That's good because I already have 1 done then. Yes, exactly. Oh,
even better.
What about you? How'd you do?
I got a little distracted on that, but I got a little bit more done of this outline. I got to the point where I got to the meet cute.
You got some what?
I got to the meet cute, I guess.
The meet cute.
You know, where the
Oh my
characters
gosh,
meet.
why did my brain not register that?
Yeah.
It's because the dog is distracting me.
Sorry. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get this finished and then I'll get those updates done. I don't know. Today's a weird day for me. We have company coming over for dinner and then I'm doing a podcast this afternoon. So I want to dream big for what I can get done today, but maybe I should just set myself at like getting this damn outline done.
What podcast are you doing? That's exciting.
In one of my writers groups, one of the romance ones, somebody was looking for authors to be on her podcast. I think she's a historical romance writer, but she wanted to do a paranormal special for Halloween. She's like, I don't know anything about paranormal. So if I can get a couple of PNR people on here to do it, and I volunteered, so I'm doing it.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, new and exciting stuff for me.
What?
New and exciting stuff for me.
Very new and exciting stuff. So outside of this, I have been obsessed with like various sewing projects that I feel I need to complete. And I am currently trying to figure out how to get the supplies to make a diaper bag. I don't need a diaper bag. I have one.
Are you talking about like the zippers and the notions for it, or are you talking about
like the hardware, things like the buckles and the
I hate finding that stuff. It seems like it's going to be really easy to find it, and it never is.
Well, it's funny. Like all of the stuff I'm looking for, I can find, but like I need to buy it in these huge quantities. So like I can't get, the 2 or the 1 slide buckle that I need. I need to get like multiple of them, or like I can't find just 2 metal rectangle loops. I have to find like 20 of them. So then it like kind of, jumps the price up a lot.
Yeah.
Which
and
makes
then you're sitting on a whole bunch of stuff that you're probably never going to use.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do actually make enough purses that I end up going through this stuff, but it's like way over time, right? So like it could be years before I use the additional 12 metal rectangle rings that I'm going to end up buying here. And so then you feel dumb because they're all like kind of expensive, right? Like it's not tons of money, but it's $10 for that whole set.
Yeah.
And then it's like another $10 for like I would really kill to be able to go to a store that had just like a great big bucket of purse supplies.
Like a hardware store, but for purses.
Yes, exactly.
Where you can just like buy it by the pound.
Yeah, right. Where you could like put all of your stuff into like one paper bag or something. If I ever own a craft store, that's how that's going to go. I don't.
And it'll be a little bit more expensive, but it'll be worth it for exactly this reason that you said. Like, I don't want to be sitting on all of this extra stuff afterward. So I'd rather, like, it might sound real dumb, but I'd rather spend $5 for 2 rectangle rings than pay $10 for like 6 rectangle rings, because I don't know what I'm going to use those other for again.
I mean, it's only more expensive per piece, right? Like per project, the expense is significantly higher, and that's not. And then
it'd be one thing if you were like an Etsy seller and you were putting all of these on your store, but you're not. So I like hanging on to extra. There are certain extra supplies that I always like to have on hand. I always like to have like elastic on hand. I like to have Velcro on hand. I don't, and like a couple of fasteners. It's good to have like eyelets on hand, I guess. But like overall, I don't want a ton of that shit just sitting around. I don't need my craft drawers and my table clogged up with that stuff. Right. I'm envious of you for being able to get stuff done right now, because I'm still working on like reclaiming my room. The cat pan is in my craft room, and I don't like crafting with the damn cat pan in there. It was moved in there when we got that rando who was living in our guest room. He's gone now, but Ken rearranged his room And he's got, just accept this, he's got a gigantic Lego Millennium Falcon. That because he redid the room that he's in, like he swapped his room for the room that the Millennium Falcon was in. And now there's nowhere for that Millennium Falcon to go. So now it's in the guest room. But of course, if the cats touch it, they'll kill it. So I still need to have that room closed off. So I still need to have that damn cat pad in my craft room.
That's so uncool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And the thing is gigantic. I don't know where the hell it's going to go. The Millennium Falcon. He's got plans. I don't know. He's got plans, but Ken's one of those people who changes their plans like 10 different times. So Lord knows when that's going to happen. What we do know is going to happen right now.
Writing.
Friends, yes. We're going to go for the next 15 minutes. That'll take us to 1:30. And we are going to be doing an extra sprint today. So we are going to be running until right around the start of the hour. So stick around after this sprint because we'll have another one going. We'll see you guys at 1:30. Okay. I got sidetracked again.
Oh, bummer.
Did you get work done?
Yes, I got through a little mini chapter and almost through another scene. So I think I can finish this in the next, well, maybe not before 10, but maybe by 10:15.
Awesome. And then what else do you have going on today?
Oh,
non-writing
do I
stuff
have non-writing
today?
stuff? I should check my calendar.
You should. But I wasn't sure if you had a small goal because you had non-writing stuff.
Yeah, no, I have. So
today.
after I finish this proofreading, then I need to do another chapter in the memoir of like revisions. And then after that, I've got administrative stuff to do, bookkeeping and things like that. Yeah, but it's okay. I have a free afternoon for it. Yeah, and
perfect. I thought I had an afternoon, and it turns out I don't. So
that sucks.
Yeah, I will at least get those 2 books up to date. Because again, like I have to redo part of the cover, but that's pretty easy. Just because of what I'm doing. I'm just changing some font stuff with it. So it's a pretty low maintenance thing. And those blurbs, and I'm just going to call it a day if I get those done and this outline done. That's it for me today.
I might try to do something like, I need to get my car emissions tested. I've got all these like little tiny tasks that need to get done like before I have no time.
How does that work in North Carolina?
So it's very similar to Georgia. You like find an emissions testing center and you like drive up, and I'm hoping I can find a contactless, sort of one where I get out of the car and they take it.
They probably still have to plug into your computer panel though. Like that's not. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably still have to get into my car, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what I do, there's that. But I mean, it's a beautiful day outside. I can drive with the windows open. I can breathe sanitizer. It'll be fine. Malcolm bought a bunch of knockoff N95 masks. He's got like a whole pack of them just for situations like this.
Right.
Where I will be expected to wear my mask over the N95 knockoff. And who knows if those will work, but that's okay. I don't know. I've been accomplishing a lot of stuff like that. Like my key fob for my car ran out of battery the other day. Do you know they charge you like $100 to fix something like that?
Did they just give you a new key fob? Because I feel like that's how much a key fob costs.
Right, exactly. Like I went on the Subaru site to like look for like, key fob fixes. A key fob repair is $129.
They're just literally giving you a new key fob. No matter what's wrong with it, they're giving you a new key fob. Because I feel like that's how much they are. Just because we've been looking into getting a new one for the Honda, but we have to actually like go to a dealership to do it. And that's going to be like about $150 to get just another one so that Ken has one so that I can give him the busted one and have a nice one for myself. Because somehow, boys who wear their keys like hanging out of their pockets tend to break those damn keys. So our key fob is like instead of being stuck together, it's like, and it's not like it still works, but you can't get the case to close. And I'm like, I hate this just because it's slightly broken and I'm irritated by stuff like that.
And I don't know. Maybe if I'd have taken the thing to the dealer, it wouldn't have been that much. Like maybe a battery change isn't actually as much as it says on the website. But I mean, we'd rather not be there at all, right? Because almost for sure they find something to charge you for when you show up.
And also, it also just might be something where they can't replace the batteries in it, where the way that they make those things, they just don't make them to be able to replace the batteries.
Well,
it could be something where, like mine, where if they tried to do it, it would never seal back up again.
I resolved this problem, actually. You can easily change a battery in a car key fob. I did it yesterday. It took me 5 minutes. We actually had the batteries in the house. Like,
you keep watch batteries around.
Yeah, well, I recently learned how to replace my own watch batteries. I ordered like a watch kit because I had a ton of watches, but like none of the batteries worked. And I thought I could like buy a new watch. I could buy a watch repair kit. And the key fob is not actually that different. So, like a YouTube video and like 5 minutes later. And I think, so I looked it up on Amazon, those batteries, you can buy those batteries like four for $6. They're
Nice.
cheap. Yeah. So I felt really good about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been, trying to tick those things off the list. Health insurance enrollment is right now. I need to figure out what the hell is going on with our retirement accounts.
I currently don't have health insurance and I really need to address that.
that is an important thing to do. Yes.
It was one of those things that I was like, when I get back from vacation, I'll deal with it. And now I've been back from vacation for a minute and I haven't dealt with it yet. So
actually, you should do that right away, because if Obamacare is still a thing, the enrollment period could potentially be up sometime in like November, if not earlier.
Right. Usually that stuff is around that time. So I have a prescription that's going to run out in about 3 weeks anyway. So I was just thinking today, I really need to get this done. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen with me because I'm not working, but I quit my job. So I don't know how that works. I'm hoping they don't try to force me into Cobra because I can't afford Cobra. I have to go without health insurance if that's what the situation is. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, there is Obamacare still, right? It's still
yes, but you have to be eligible for it, and I don't know what the eligibility requirements are. I mean, I'll find out, but I'm a little worried about how expensive this is going to be, and if it's going to be. Yeah, we'll see though. This could be like a really easy thing. It's also something that I have to call. Like I can't do online, which automatically is like, all right, well, I guess I'm dealing with this later. Because I did look into it already, and there's absolutely no information, at least in the state of Georgia, for what is in my future for this.
So are there eligibility requirements now? Like you're required to have healthcare, but also there's eligibility requirements?
Yes. Because Ken, because of how much money he makes, he's not eligible for anything like that. He just has to pay like $600 a month for his health insurance. Because he makes too much money. For me, I don't have an income, but I also recently had an income and I voluntarily quit my job. So that changes. Like I'm not eligible for unemployment or anything like that. So I don't know if that's also going to affect healthcare or not.
So we're talking about different things here, because you can buy health insurance at the Affordable Care.
Oh, well, yes.
Yes.
But there is a max where you're eligible to buy it through ACA. And I don't think I'm at that max. Like Ken cannot buy, or
are you sure?
We might be talking, so there might be a bit of a, like, there's always healthcare available, but like whether you get it at any sort of a discount because of ACA or not is where it is. So like there's no chance that I'll have to pay what Ken pays for it, but like his girlfriend pays absolutely nothing for it. So I don't know where I'm going to fall in all of this.
I see. Okay. I was going to say, because I had Affordable Care Act healthcare one year. Malcolm and I signed up for it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that was not based on our income.
Right. It will point you in the direction that you need to go in. It's just like where you're getting it from is going to change.
So, I mean, it was definitely Affordable Care Act, but I think they have multiple levels of plans, and that what you pay for those plans depends on your income.
Right.
Yeah. I hope that you get all kinds of free healthcare.
Hans is ultimately serviced by Kaiser Permanente, whereas Katz is ultimately served by Peach Care, which is Georgia's basically, you don't have a job, so here's health insurance.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you should probably look into that sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea what the penalties are if you don't have it. Like,
Oh yeah, and the penalties are going up and up and up. It won't be that bad for me because it's only like a month or two that I'll be without it. But yes, I will be penalized for not having it as well.
awesome.
Yeah. Let's do some writing though.
Yeah, let's not think about this
And
anymore.
I'll let you know what's going on with my healthcare when I figure it out. I'll keep you updated in case this comes up for anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to write for the next 15 minutes. We're going to go until right before the hour's up. And this will be our last sprint of the day. Good luck, everybody.
Okay, we are back.
All right. We are back. Congratulations, Pronoun, on hitting 40K. I really like hitting those milestones as well. Like every time I hit a 10K, I'm like, yes. Except for the last thing that I did, because I wrote it in Y Writer, and it's not so obvious when you've hit those milestones. Like they're always at the bottom of the screen, but they're at the bottom of the wrong screen, so to speak. Like there's the screen that's like the interface, and then there's the screen that's actually what you write in. And there's really not, you don't need to go to the interface screen all that often, and that's where it is. So I kind of missed out on that with Verity, but that's okay. I actually Verity, I think, ended up under 80K. So my worries with that.
Yeah, I never pay attention to like the auto, like the little things at the bottom of the screen that Scrivener's telling you. I'm always so anxious about word count that I'm like checking it in the project targets every few minutes. You know, like, I finished a chapter. Where am I?
I feel like it's kind of weird information on Scrivener, right?
You have to make sure the right boxes are checked.
Got it.
Yeah. Dude, I should totally be teaching Scrivener classes. I love that program so much. I don't have time for that, but I love that program.
You can make Scrivener tutorials and post it on this channel.
Yeah, seriously. It could happen. Maybe
like a Sandy's Scrivener tip of the week. It'll just be little 5-minute videos because that's all they need to be. Of like, here's how you do this little thing with it.
I could do that. Yeah, I should. Since it's word stitch, I should do like a Scrivener stitch tutorial.
Perfect.
Right? Like one Scrivener tip.
Scrivener stitch.
One sewing tip.
Yes, that's really hard for me to say. That's okay.
It's also a terrible idea, but you know, that's
like you have the Scrivener tip, and then like at the very end of it, also here's how you whip stitch.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I have so much more expertise in Scrivener though that I feel like the stitching part would like detract. You know,
right. Do the last like 20 seconds of it. So Sandy, how much did you get done today?
I am almost at the end of those 2 chapters. I've got 2.5 pages left to proofread. So I did well.
I actually got 10 scenes outlined. When I say outline, most of these are a single like 3-sentence paragraph. They're not big. It's just like the thoughts are getting organized. Some of them are gigantic paragraphs though, but I got 10 done, and I'm giving each of these about 20 scenes. So actually I got more done than I thought today.
Good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. I'm about to hit some like wonkiness with the timeline because I thought I was going to make 2 things mesh. And I've just realized that there's no way for those 2 things to mesh, but that's okay because it means I'll be able to throw a red herring in that I'll be able to use with one of the later things. I was going to measure with one of the girls whose stories had already happened. And now I'm realizing that's not going to work because what happens with that one happens like later. But that's okay because it'll just be like a jumping point for the next one story.
I have ultimate faith that this whole series is going to be fantastic. I'm more excited. I'm very excited. I'm excited because I'm picturing Swamp Monster Hulk.
Oh yeah. Kano, my very first one is a Swamp Monster Hulk.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the idea just intrigues me so much. So I want to read Verity, and then
Verity will come first because I absolutely need Verity to be published in December if I have any chance at all of making this single income thing actually be an income.
Okay, here is my goal for you, my selfish goal. I need something that I need to read of yours like the first week of December when I desperately will need distraction.
Yes, it will definitely be ready for you by then, if not sooner than then.
But you'll need Verity before then, right? Like I can't imagine you.
Yeah, preferably My goal right now, and we are, just so you guys know, because we're kind of chattering to ourselves right now, that was our final sprint. So thank you for joining us. We're going to continue our little idle prattle here for another couple of minutes. But like, if y'all got other things to do, we're not doing any more sprinting today. This is the end of our show. But for Sandy, I'm going to do this editing pass on Verity before I allow myself to start Nano. So even if it runs into November, I'm not starting Nano before I do that. And then I'm going to write the first novel in this alien romance series, which is Kano. These are going to be like 50K. And you know me, that's only going to be like 2 weeks for me. So right. I will do a second edit on Verity at that point. At which point then it will definitely be ready to go to you. So you'll be getting it sometime in November. When you can read it depends on the craziness that is your life right now. But
yes. But hopefully it'll be all timed well. So good. Excellent. Great.
Yes. Okay. So that is everything for us today. I am going to be doing an evening show. It will not be a sprinting show, but tomorrow evening at 8 p.m., I'm going to be doing something with my NaNoWriMo region. We are going to be talking about plotting. I'm going to explain how I plot things or how I prep for Nano, so to speak, because I'm not exactly a plotter in the plotter versus planter sense, but plotter versus pantser sense. There we go. Let me say those words right. But I will be talking about how I personally do it and then going over a couple of different writing programs for it and taking whatever questions my region has for me. And also, if you guys show up, I will be answering questions for you as well. It is open for everybody. I'm just doing it specifically for my region, but anybody can be there. That is going to be tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern to probably 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I will be back here Thursday to do my morning show. The longer I've been not working with other people, the harder it's becoming for me to talk anymore. Unfortunately, I do have a stutter, and I feel like the less I talk, the worse it gets when I do talk. So apologies, you're just gonna have to accept gibberish from me. Hopefully I won't lose my ability to speak entirely. But yeah, so we will be doing the Thursday and Friday morning shows this week. And I believe that is all that we are doing. I say that's all, like it is little stuff. That's a whole bunch of stuff we're doing this week. We should have the same schedule next week, but next week I will also be hosting on the official NaNoWriMo YouTube channel at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday the 28th. Do you have anything special going on, Sandy?
No, but I think I can join you on Thursday and Friday. So
awesome.
Yeah, so that's good. And okay, and the 28th, that is on the Nano channel. So
yes,
I'm putting that on my calendar right now.
So if you guys do NaNoWriMo, you should be subscribed to that channel. I will say that if you compare the NaNoWriMo people to the author tubers, the NaNoWriMo people don't know what they're doing. But that's okay, because they're not official author tubers. I say official like it's an official thing, but these are not people who like that is not what they are focused on. But like every time I watch their things, I'm like, why are you not using StreamYard or at least OBX? What is happening here? Why did you guys not plan this out better? But I love you guys, and I'm glad that you're doing it. And there's going to be a lot more sprints through them this November for obvious reasons, because we can't do in-person write-ins. So if nothing else, the Nano channel is like a good hub to connect to other stuff. Yes. Yeah. I believe that is officially everything now, right?
I think that is, I feel like our calendar is getting really, really busy, and like maybe it's going to get busier in November because of Nano.
Yeah. All of my stuff that I'm going to be doing with my region is going to be happening here because there was not a whole lot of interest in anything other than here and Facebook. Only 2 people were interested in Discord, so I'm absolutely not making a Discord channel. And only a couple people said that they were interested in doing anything on Skype, which of course is what we had before we had Zoom. So yeah, expect a whole bunch more live programming on this channel in the next month.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. You guys all have a great day, and I will see you either tomorrow night or Thursday morning or sometime in the future.
Okay. Thanks for doing this.
Bye, guys.